What is it that brings us back week after week? I mean, yeah, we do some fun, interesting things once in a while. But I really don't think that it's the excitement that draws us back here. I mean, if it was the excitement, this service would eventually start looking like a Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert with the pyrotechnics flaring up out of the stage and the strobing flashing, and we could have, Sean, we could have a stage that came up out of this, and we had the singers on it and the instruments, and we could have one that just kind of floated down out of the ceiling, and you could be there, and maybe the drums hanging over here, and no, right? You don't see that happening? You're right, and how would we top that? You know? I don't think that it's fear about what'll happen to us if we don't come to church on Sunday. Let's face it, fear is a lousy motivator. The basic human nature pushes us, drives us to push past the boundaries of our fears. Most of us anyway, and if not that, you know, eventually we're just going to get fed up with the fear. We're going to get angry with it and just, or we just resent it. And we resent what caused the fear. We learned a few weeks ago that church is not a building. The church is not a denomination. The church is a group of very imperfect people who have put their hope, their trust, their confidence in the fact that when Jesus Christ died on a cross and rose again from the grave, that paid completely the penalty for our rebellion against God. And because of that, we can now live in relationship of love with Him. We're Christ followers. We are Christ imitators. There are a number of attributes of God, defining characteristics, if you will. The biggest defining characteristic of God is the fact that He's near. Those of us who have put our trust in Christ, God has taken up residency. He lives inside of us. When two or more of us are gathered together, the scriptures say, that God is in the middle of that. He's right there with us. He's fellowshipping with us. The second most important defining characteristic about God is the fact that He's relational. He wants to know you. He wants you to know Him. He knows you intimately, deeply, completely. He wants you to know Him as intimately and as deeply, as completely, as personally as He knows you. Those two characteristics are core to who God is. They form the foundation of everything else about God, because God is love. Now, God created each and every one of us individually to be relational. You may not feel like it, you may fight against it, but that's the way God created you. He created us to be relational to one another. This portion of the body of God, the church, the river, we're relational. We're relational with one another. We're relational with the world around us, Wahiwa. the art ministry. If you look at the scriptures and all of the textbooks, you're going to see that there are 5 basic purposes for the church. The church has 5 basic purposes to fulfill. The first purpose is to love God, to worship. The second purpose is to love one another, to serve. The third purpose is to disciple, to lead others into a relationship with Jesus Christ. Fourth is to baptize, to take those who come to know Christ and draw them into the family, the body, the relationship of the church. And the fifth purpose of the church is to teach, to help each other to become more like Jesus Christ. Now, I've always been the kind of guy that I want to know what something looks like. I mean, you can preach the best sermon ever written, but if you can't tell me what it looks like, what it feels like, what it smells like and tastes like, you've lost me. You're speaking to the wall. So, what is the church? Why do we do it? Why are we here? Well, there are 4 points. First of all, the church is a place where it is safe for me to let people know who I am. To let them see my warts, my failures, my shortcomings, my brokenness. It's safe here in the body, in the church, for me to let you know that there is a dark side of me. There is a part that I don't like. Maybe you see that, and you're talking with me, you see that darkness, but there's no condemnation. There's no rejection. There's no ridicule. I don't have to come here and hide behind a false front. I don't have to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. If you look at all of the scriptures that concern Jesus Christ, I think the greatest thing that you're going to find about him is the fact that he was safe. It was safe for anybody, ordinary, everyday people like me, like you, to approach Christ, to talk to him, to relate with him. Thieves, prostitutes, religious bigots could safely come to Jesus Christ, and they were not going to be rejected, turned away. He would always welcome them. Secondly, church is where I learn what God really intended me to be. Who God intended me to be in the first place. What he wanted me to be like. You know that weird personality trait that you've got? Okay, we've got a few. Michael, you should be standing up and saying, yeah, that's me. That unique view of life that you have. God created that in you and for you. It's who you are. It may have been formed by some of the things that happened to you in your life, but God let that happen. He used that to make you who you are. And it's in the safety of the church that I can work with God and I can work with others to learn how to use my uniqueness in such a way that it's not going to bring damage to me. It's not going to damage other people. It's in the safety of the church that I learn to be like Jesus Christ. It's in the safety of the church that I learned to be that safe individual that attracted me. I learned to be that safe individual that others want to come to me. They're attracted to me. Third, church is where I learn to take my unique giftedness and serve. I learn how to bring joy and peace, shalom, into the lives of others. It's where I learn how to share that good news of a life that is completely changed from the inside out. Because of that love of God that wells up in me, and it flows in me, and it overflows out of me. And it's because of that that I can live in full view of others around me, a life of peace and tranquility in the midst of life's storms and disasters. And I'm standing here before you right now to tell you that's true joy. And then finally, church is where we come together as a group and we join with others and we magnify our worship and our praise, and we focus it on the one who loved us and cherished us when we were still enemies of God. When we hated God, He loved us and cherished us. He loved us then. He loves us now. He will love us and cherish us into eternity. We worship. Let's worship together.